Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the English news program on Somaliland National Television with me, Adil Muhammad Osman. I'm here to update you on local and international events. Here are the headlines. The Minister of Labour and Social Affairs discusses job creation event. Minister of Fisheries discusses recent trip to Belgium capital Brussels. French soldier gets stabbed in French capital Paris. The Minister of Labour and Social Affairs, Mahmoud Ahmed Garad, has announced that his ministry will soon be holding a national event focusing on job creation that will include the various sectors of Somaliland. The minister added that he hopes such a move will allow for the flow of Somaliland youth contemplating the dangers of illegal migration to become heavily reduced. The Minister of Labour and Social Affairs, Mahmoud Ahmed Garad, announced a national meeting for job creation throughout the nation, which will include local companies in the business sector as well as international agencies, and is aimed to initiate countrywide investments. Minister of Labour and Social Affairs Mahmoud Ahmed Garad elaborated on the urgent need to invest in the country and create jobs for thousands of unemployed youth within the country. The Minister of Labour and Social Affairs added that the most influential or the largest companies in Somaliland's private sector will also be attending this meeting. Minister Mahmoud Ahmed Garad warned the youth who risk their lives due to illegal migration and added that this number will increase unless the youth are provided with job opportunities, and only after this will they cease to engage in illegal migration. The Minister of Fisheries and Marine Resources, Adil University, held a press conference to discuss a recent trip to the Belgium capital Brussels that discussed strengthening Somaliland's case for international recognition. The Minister was accompanied by the Minister of Planning and National Development, Dr. Saad Ali Shire, as well as the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Basha Mohammed Farah. The Somaliland Minister of Fisheries and Marine Resources, Abdullah Osman Gelchire, discussed a recent meeting that occurred in the Belgium capital Brussels, which is organised to discuss the independence of Somaliland and strengthening the eligibility for international recognition. Minister of Fisheries and Marine Resources Abdullah Osman Gelchire spoke on the necessity for this meeting for the people of Somaliland, which was organised by Belgium citizens who were keen to get the process rolling. They cordially invited members of the Cabinet, which included the Minister of Fisheries, as well as the Minister of Planning and National Development, Dr. Saad Ali Shire, and a member of the House of Parliament, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Basha Mohammed Farah. The Minister of Fisheries and Marine Resources confessed the need for investment in the marine sector of Somaliland and the improvement of the crafts that fishermen use throughout the country. The Minister of Fisheries and Marine Resources also highlighted the importance of enhancing or improving the exploitation or extraction of marine resources to develop the revenue of the country. All in all, Minister Abdullah Osman Gelchire said the meeting was fruitful. Students of Adil University provided valuable assistance to the vulnerable community in the Dami district of the capital Hargeisa. The students of Adil took it upon themselves to provide this assistance and sent a plea to encourage all others who can provide similar assistance to help those in less than fortunate conditions. Adil University students provided valuable assistance to the vulnerable people residing in the Dami district of the capital of Somaliland, Hargeisa. The items included food, mattresses and blankets, which were in pressing need for the people living in this area, as described by the students of Adil University who provided this humanitarian assistance. Celeban Megag, speaking on behalf of the university administration, discussed at length the necessity to offer similar assistance to people unable to manage their own livelihoods. He called upon the Somaliland government to take a constructive hand in further improving upon the assistance for vulnerable people across the nation. The head of the Students' Association of Adil University, Abdi Farah Megag Absir, spoke at the event contemplating the great role which students played on providing this assistance. Other university students also spoke at the event and reiterated the need for more assistance to avoid people struggling from poverty. You're still watching the English news program on Somaliland National Television, the only Somali-speaking channel with an English news program. And now for our international news. A French soldier has been stabbed in the neck whilst he was patrolling La Défense area of the capital Paris on Saturday. This attack has shocked the people of France, and the French President François Hollande has said the police are exploring all possible leads. The French soldier who was stabbed in the neck whilst on patrol in the La Défense area of Paris on Saturday was on patrol as part of the Vigipara anti-terrorist surveillance plan along with 2 other colleagues when he was attacked by an unknown man who fled the scene. Though he lost a lot of blood, police say he will survive and is being treated in a nearby hospital. French President François Hollande, on an official visit to Ethiopia, said the attacker was still on the run and that police were exploring more leads. French daily Le Parisien reported that the attacker was possibly of North African origin. The country has been on high alert following attacks on the military intervention in Mali in January. The incident comes just after the British soldier was killed in London. French police are looking into whether this could be a copycat attack. Several people are said to have been wounded in Lebanon when 2 rockets hit an area of southern Beirut that is controlled by Hezbollah. It is thought the attack may be in retaliation for a pledge of support by the militant group's leader for his Syrian ally, President Bashar al-Assad. At least 3 people are said to have been hurt. It is not known who fired the rockets or from where. On Saturday, Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah confirmed for the first time the group's involvement in the Syria conflict. Hezbollah is a Shia Muslim group. President Bashar al-Assad is from the minority Alawi sect, an offshoot of Shia Islam. In a televised speech, Nasrallah claimed Sunni Muslims were being influenced by the US in order to further Israel's interests. The fiercest fighting in Israel is in rebel stronghold Qusair, near the Lebanese border. Hezbollah fighters have been helping the Syrian government as it tries to seize back the strategically important town. At least 30 of Lebanese guerrillas have been killed there, according to opposition activists. A female suicide bomber has struck the southern Russian region of Dagestan, injuring at least 18 and leaving 1 other dead, according to police. The device was detonated in the central square of the provincial capital, Makhala. The attacker has been identified as Medina Alivia, widowed first in 2009 and then again in 2012, when her parents, both radicals linked to insurgency, were killed by security forces. In Dagestan, women who carry out these kinds of attacks after losing relatives have become known as black widows. The insurgency in North Caucasian region has grown more violent in recent years. Earlier this week, another attack came in the same town and killed 4, injuring 44 others. And now for our sports segment with Mohammed Jibril.
Thanks, Adil. Let's start with some of international soccer. Bayern Munich are the new champions of Europa. The men of Bavaria beating their rivals from Dortmund 2-1 in the Champions League final at Wembley. Bayern Munich are the new champions of Europe. The men from Bavaria beating their rivals from Dortmund 2-1 in the Champions League final at Wembley. In a goalless first half, Dortmund impressed, taking the game to the German champions, but for all the chances they created, they could not convert one. 0-0 at halftime, but it was Bayern who came out more determined in the second half, and Dortmund who lost their sparkle. When the goals came, they came late with just half an hour to go. Tim Duncan is doing his very best to get the San Antonio Spurs back to the NBA Finals one more time. Tim Duncan is doing his very best to get the San Antonio back to the NBA Finals one more time. The 37-year-old center took control in the overtime for a second straight game, this time scoring the first 5 points as the Spurs reeled from an 18-point deficit to beat Memphis Grizzlies 104-93 Saturday night. That put them a win away from their first finals since 2007. Duncan wants to get back to the finals after being on the verge last year. He said he was more aggressive in the overtime after being a bit tentative with his shot in the regulation. The Spurs grabbed 3-0 lead in the Western Conference Finals and now have won 5 straight this postseason, with the memory of blowing 2-0 lead a year ago in the West Finals to Oklahoma City. When they lost the next 4, the Spurs shook off the sloppy play early and pushed the young Grizzlies to edge of the elimination in the first West Final played in Memphis. The Grizzlies knocked off the Clippers of the trade to 0-2 and upset the West top seed of Oklahoma City in the semifinals. Now their task is even tougher with Game 4 in the Memphis on Monday night. American Kenny Berry is 1 run away from climbing his first major championship after taking 2-shot lead after the 3rd round of the senior BGA champion in St. Louis on Saturday. The 52-year-old Perry, who twice lost in the playoff in the golf regular major champions, has his chance to turn on a Sunday. The Kentucky native has 2 previous wins on the Champions Tour for those over 50, but is yet to win a major. Cochran, who won 2011 Senior Open Champions, appeared set to fall out of contention when he was 2 over on his round through 10 holes, but battled back with 2 closing birdies to reach. That was an update from our sports segment. You can catch your complete update of international sports with me, Mohammed Jibril, on Wednesdays, Saturdays and Sundays. Back to you.
Thanks very much, Mohammed. And now for a recap of our headlines. Ministry of Labour and Social Affairs discusses job creation event. Minister of Fisheries discusses recent trip to Belgium capital Brussels. French soldier gets stabbed in French capital Paris. And that's all the news we have for you today. Thanks very much for watching. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.